Alright, if you're a professional black person, your chances of meeting someone of a different race are higher, not because of self-hate or anything like that, just because it's a numbers thing. Check it out. Say if I'm a black dude, and I have a dating pool of 100 women, right? I'm gonna start off with 100 black women. Now, let's say I want someone who's educated or sophisticated, in the sense that they have a job or a career, and they have a value of education. Um, right off the bat, I can cut out 40 of those women, right? And I'm being kind of stingy, but 40 of them wouldn't fit the bill, right? Because they wouldn't have that level of sophistication. Not in terms of acting white, but in terms of not acting like they're limited just because they're from a certain area. So 40 of them would be gone, 40%. Alright? So I'm only left with 60. Then if I said, I don't want a woman with kids, let's take away 10 more. So now I'm down to 50, already half. And it's pretty reasonable to want someone who doesn't have kids and who's sophisticated. So already those two things cut um, half of the black women out of my pool. So I only got 50 left. Then let's say you want a black woman who comes from a two-parent home. Not because, oh, you're better off if you're from a two-parent home, but you can emulate what you grew up in. I want to be in a family, not because I'm a better thinker, I'm just more intelligent. It's because I grew up in that system. Even though my parents got divorced, I grew up in that system and I know its values. So that's what I want. And quite frankly, it's harder to know how to, act in a family if you didn't grow up in one. So it's not that I have hatred for people who didn't, but it's just a preference. I would prefer for you to have come from a two-parent home. Because I know growing up in that system, you learn pretty much the roles of what a woman should be and what are the roles of a man. So I'm probably taking off, I don't know, 20 more females. Because, black people, we tend to not grow up in two-parent households. So now I'm down to 30. 30 black women of a pool that's supposed to be 100. And then last but not least, physical attraction. It's not about skin color, but if you give me 10 dark-skinned girls, I'm not going to like all 10 of them. There's going to be a couple that I like, right? If you give me 10 light-skinned girls, I'm not going to like all 10. There's going to be a couple that I like. So it's just more of just what you like. So you take that 30, and let's say 10 of them you're not attracted to. So then you're left with 20, right? And, we can have more criteria because I know a lot of people have more. I didn't even factor in age. Didn't factor in religion. Didn't factor in any of that stuff. So now I'm down with 20 women of a pool that's supposed to be 100. So where's the other 80% going to come from? That are still going to meet those qualifications. Yep, they're going to be non-black. Pure and simple. Same thing for black women. Shit, if a black woman needs to have a pool of 100 black men, all she has to say is she wants someone who's educated and sophisticated, and 70% of black men will be gone. So if she's educated or has a certain level of sophistication and she's not hood, so she doesn't want that in a partner, 70 guys are probably going to be cut immediately. Just cut immediately. So she only has 30. Black men don't really have kids like that, or at least successful ones don't. So let's say, I don't know, you take away maybe 2 guys. So now she has 28 guys to choose from. And then she says the same thing, oh, I want a dude that grew up in a two-parent household so he knows how to respect women. Take away, I don't know, take away 13 from that. 13 from 28. And now she's only left with 15 dudes. And then you take away and you add in general attraction. I don't know, maybe cut 5 dudes off. So she's only left with 10 dudes. So the dude is left with what did I say, 20, and she's left with 10. Right? So all of a sudden it becomes a whole lot harder to find 10 people as opposed to finding 100 people. It becomes a whole lot harder finding 20 people when you should have had 100 people, when you need 100 people. So you have to fill up the gaps with other people. Quite frankly, it is what it is. The biggest issue that exists between professional black people, in my opinion, is that we just don't come across each other, right? And even if you come across one, you know what I mean? Like, it doesn't mean you have to like that person. I can meet a chick who's professional and she may not be feeling me. That's, you know, who's to say that, oh, the first professional black dude you see, you have to like. Same thing with dudes. But I can meet a whole bunch of professional white women and eventually find which one that fits just because I'm meeting more of them. So, I think that's the biggest problem. Like, I talked about it in one of my earlier videos. There's no place where professional black people can go in terms of mixing. I mean, you see it in college, but it doesn't transcend into adulthoodness. If you're white, there's spots where you can go where you're around a certain class of white people. If you're Asian, same thing. Maybe not clubs, but there's just social settings, social groups that you can go where everybody's of the same caliber or they're going after the same things. But black people, we don't have that. We don't. I'm not a club person myself, because you go to the club, you have everybody's there, right? Even my homegirls who are educated, it's like they put all their stock into going in the club and meeting somebody there, and it's just like, look who's there. Remember our qualifications, right? But we don't think about that. So we want to blame each other. There's just no time. There is no time, and there's not enough of us. So honestly, if it's something that we want to fix, we have to be, in my opinion, way more proactive about it. In my eyes. Because if not, we're just going to continue to, date who's there. Pure and simple. Life is too short to say, hey, I'm going to wait to find a professional, black person when the odds are already super duper against you. So think about it.